So this is my first hangout for 2014 with MLSP. So I'm going to actually, let's do this a little bit differently, okay, guys? So I'm going to leave the chat on. You guys keep chatting with each other, but there's also a little question mark box. If you have questions at all tonight, then what I want you to do is just go there and put the question in there, because sometimes the chat just can go crazy and your question could get lost in the chat. So I want to make sure that if you have questions, I can get to them and I can answer them. But tonight we're actually going to keep the theme and we're going to go over goal setting together. And I decided, rather than doing like a regular training where you come out and you just listen, I thought it would be really cool if we could actually make this like a workshop together. You guys are hanging out with me. I'm sitting in my office, and it's actually quite an appropriate time for me to do this because I was already in the middle of getting my goals prepared for 2014. I'm almost done. The last thing that we're working on is we're working on putting a new vision board together. And I thought, instead of just sitting here and listening to me all, for the next 50, 60 minutes, however long we need to hang out for, until we get this goal setting workshop done, I thought, rather than just listening and, just going, oh yeah, that sounds like good information, why don't we grab our journals together, grab a notepad together. I've got my new 2014 journal here. You can pick these up at TJ Maxx. Look at that. I got the price tag, $4.99. Grab something that you have. You can transfer it over into a journal if you want later. But I thought, let's make this a workshop style and actually get some of this stuff done while we hang out here together tonight. We'll work on some of our goals, and I'm going to give you guys, if you got my email, if you're here because of an email that I sent out, or just the invite through MLSP, I want to give you guys basically just my visual goal setting strategy. And I learned how to put goals into action really, really well last March. So if you guys don't know who I am, I just want to start with this. Welcome to the call if you're brand new to MLSP. I've been with MLSP since 2010, so going on into about 4 years. And I found MLSP probably the same as everybody else finds MLSP, doing some searching on the internet, wanting to know how to effectively build my business. And I found MLSP and I loved it. It's very different today than it was when I got started. It's much easier to navigate through, and the tools that they give us are phenomenal. But I use the system actually to help me generate leads and brand myself online for my business. And so that's probably what you guys are doing. And then since they launched Mastery, it's become an incredible secondary income stream as well. So that's definitely been awesome for this 2013 accumulative. So if you're here for the first time, I just want to let you know who I am. My name is Tanya Liza. I'm an L4 leader inside of the Master Marketers team with the community. And just filling in again, like I said, tonight for April, who was supposed to be on the call with us. So last March was my birthday. And my birthday's in March. I'm in Aries. And I sat down and I just felt like there was a lot of stuff going on in my head. And I knew that there was a lot that I wanted to accomplish and a lot of things that I wanted to do, but I really had no idea how to get it all done. I felt completely overwhelmed. I felt completely, I don't know if you guys have ever felt overwhelmed to the point where you don't do anything. Like, I was sleeping in every morning and I was like, man, I should really be getting up and working on some of these goals that I have, but I just had everything in my head. Now, if you're anything like I was when I started with MLSP and I saw all of these leaders talking about having a blog, having a Twitter account, having a Facebook page, YouTube channel, and then figuring out, what style of marketing am I going to employ for my leads online for my business, I was completely overwhelmed. And I don't know if any of you guys are in that point or at that part in your business or online venture, but setting goals is one thing. And I sent out an email today and I said, I'm going to teach you how to crush your goals, because it's one thing to set goals. We can always set our goals. We know how to do that. That's all fine and dandy. But I think where a lot of people struggle, including myself, back before I learned how to do this, was I had no idea to actually get the goals out effectively, not so that they look pretty on paper, but to actually make sure that they get done. So crush them, like even beat out your own goals. And one of my most favorite resources that I have, that I go back to all the time on my goal setting, and now at least once or twice a year, depending on my projects that I have working on for that year. But what I have is this book, and I hope you guys can see it okay. This book is called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. I don't know if anybody's read it. It's a really, really easy read. Okay, so you can read these pages. You could read this book in one day if you really wanted to. And I sat down, and I actually have a bookcase behind me at my boyfriend Caesar's house, which I'm staying here. And he had all these books, and they're awesome personal development books and sales books and psychology books and influence books. And I'm like, for some reason, I just picked up this book because it said 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and getting more done in less time. And I was like, that's amazing copy. Of course, I want 21 great ways to stop procrastinating. I was sleeping in. I wasn't accomplishing my goals. I had all these things on my head that I knew I needed to get done, but they weren't getting done. So I picked this book up and I started reading it. And the one thing that I love about it is these chapters are only like 2 pages long. I'm completely ADD when it comes to reading sometimes. So these chapters were like really easy to read. They were a couple pages long. And at the end of each chapter, it gave you a little task. So it wasn't like just read it and, oh, you're done the chapter. It's like, read it. Okay, now here's the task that you have to do. So I got out a journal, and I still have this journal, and it's sitting beside me here right now. I'm going to go over some of this stuff. I got out this journal, and I said to myself, okay, I'm going to actually do the tasks in this book. I'm going to take action on what I'm learning. So some of the things that Brian Tracy, and I love him, because probably he's Canadian too, and I'm Canadian. But he's a worldwide, famous sales trainer in goal setting and in closing and in strategy and all this stuff. And I said, okay, well, if he's as good as people say he is, he probably could teach me something, right? And so I took these tasks to heart, and I realized that this can actually be applied to almost anything. At the time, I had a huge project that I was completing, and it had a million different variables attached to it. Kind of like if you have your business and you're working on your marketing strategy and you're learning the marketing strategy, and then you're having to do all these little things to get this marketing strategy done. This is a way where it actually laid out for me how to get it done, and then how to prioritize it so that every day I could really, I would look at my daily tasks that I would have to do for that day, and I could really prioritize, okay, which one do I need to do first? So immediately when I woke up in the morning, I wasn't thinking to myself, okay, well, what do I got to do? I know I got to do all these things. It was like, here it is, you need to get it done. Okay, so number one, this is one of my favorite resources for goal setting and getting things done. Okay, not only just setting a goal, you got goals, great, they look great on paper, but let's get them done. So this is going to actually help you get this done. I'm not going to actually sit here and read you the book tonight. It's not story time night, right? But I am going to go over some of the things that really stuck out to me and how to get these done. So what are goals? Okay, because I don't know if you guys ever thought of this, but like, what the heck is a goal? Well, to me, okay, a goal was certain areas of my life. I wanted them to look a certain way. And everyone says, okay, well, make your goals specific, right? So if you are in business, how much do you want to make per year? How much do you want to make per month? And then what does that look like? I'm a big believer on being very specific with what you want, because if you just say, okay, well, my goal is to make more money. If you were walking down the street tomorrow and you found $1 hanging out on the road and you picked it up, that would be more money. But is that really what you were aspiring to attain? So being really specific. So I'll tell you what, I got really good at this back in March after I read this book, and I started to write some things down in order and then just kind of work off that checklist, and it worked really, really well because I had a clear idea of where I wanted to go, and then how, big part of it is how am I going to get there? And I want us to work together tonight, and I want us to actually put our goals and start writing some things down on paper. My goals aren't going to be the same as your goals, but if it's a similar pattern that you see, you can sort of morph it into the exercise of goal setting for you, and in my liking, goal crushing. Okay, I want you to crush your goals out of the ballpark for 2014. I don't want them to just eat away at you sitting there looking pretty on that piece of paper that you're going to put them down on. Okay, I want you to get really, really serious with this, because when people are looking at you and they're analyzing, are you going to make it in this world of business? This is what we do, something very different than what society conforms us to be as far as employees go. We're business owners, we're entrepreneurs. A lot of people look at us differently. And when we actually put our goals together on paper for our own self, and then we start accomplishing those goals, we turn into different people. And those are the people that other people are watching. They're seeing, like, is this person going to make it? And we not only have to prove it to ourselves that we are incredible people and entrepreneurs, and we can go out there, we can seriously crush it. We have to prove it to not only ourselves, but our families and also our friends and also the other people around us that are taking note of our actions. Okay, so this is very, very important. So my favorite saying is that if you don't know where you're going, you're bound to end up somewhere else. So you can decide if you want to go somewhere else or if you actually want to go where you want to go. Okay. And then if you have a family, very important to not only sit down and take goals for yourself, but also look at what your family wants. There might be a trip to Disney in there somewhere that your family wants. It might be that you guys need a new family car, whatever the case may be. You got to know where you want to go. Otherwise, you're bound to end up somewhere else. So Last March, I got really good at doing this. I completed a very big project just last month based on this. And this was a project that would probably have taken me more than a year to finish. I did it in about 8 months, which was really, really cool. I focused only on the things that I needed to focus on to actually get that done. All right. My boyfriend, Cesar, you guys might know Cesar Rodriguez. He's also an L4 leader inside of the Master Marketers team with My Lead System Pro. He had a really big project that he was working on, and we lived together, so I can see, how sometimes he's starting to stress about things, and he's like, I got some things to do. And I said, do you have your list? Do you have your goals written down? You got your priority list done? And he's got a big white wall in his office, and he wrote all the things down, and he started checking things off. And he basically was like, holy smacks, you're really good at prioritizing my work and helping me to accomplish my goals. I know that we have Kate McShay and her husband Andrew inside of the MLSP community as well. They're MMT leaders. They are killing it with their video marketing strategy right now. And I met them at an event in Vegas almost a year ago. And I said, what are you doing as far as marketing? She said, well, we're going to get started in doing some video marketing. And I said, okay, so what are your goals in getting your video marketing kind of done? And she said, well, we're going to work on a strategy of about 3 to 5 videos a day. And I said, okay, that's awesome, And then about 3 weeks later, I think it was less than 3 weeks later, we actually saw Kate again at another event. And I said, so how's your marketing coming along? And she said to me, well, it's actually amazing. And I said, okay, well, do share. What's so amazing about it? And she said, well, I know I told you when we were at this last event, I told you that we're going to set a marketing plan to do about 3 to 5 videos a week. And when we got back from that event, we actually decided to screw it and do 20 videos a week. So she said, we had just made this commitment. We set this goal and we wanted to complete it. We set ourselves a deadline and we wanted to do that fast. And so to do that fast, we said, we can decide, okay, we can do 3 to 5 videos a week for this amount of time, or we could do 20 videos a week and condense that time and get our goals kind of in line a little bit quicker. So these are just some examples that I want to give you on what's possible if you actually know where you're going and exactly how you're going to get there. And we're going to work on that right now. So a goal basically is something that you want to accomplish. I would say to be very specific with it. I would attach a number of some kind to it. If you want to lose some weight, what weight goal do you want to be at? What BMI rating do you want to be at? How much body fat do you want to have? Measure. Okay, you have to measure your results because then you know how to gauge where you are now and then where you're going and how long it's going to take to get there. And you can reverse engineer it. And I'm going to talk about some reverse engineering strategies for you as well that's going to make life really, really easy. There's a couple of different categories, and this is just to make it easy because if we talk about goals, it can be really, really vague, right? We can just say, I want to make a lot of money this year, or I want to be successful this year, or I want to travel more this year. Okay, those are goals, great, but they're very vague. I would suggest be very specific. I want to be 130 pounds this year. I want to have a body mass index of blah, blah, blah. Okay, I want to travel to South Africa this year. I want to travel to Thailand this year. And then we're going to attach deadlines to those and be more specific as well. And then I'm going to show you how to break it down. It's all about taking it step by step and breaking it down. But there's going to be different categories of your goals that you can kind of segment things in. Okay, so here's how I did it just to make it really easy for me. And you can write this down if you've got a journal, if you got a piece of paper and you're taking some notes. But I would say some categories that you want to make some goals in. Number one is business. Okay, you guys are all entrepreneurs here, right? So I would recommend we're going to make some business goals. Now you can even segment. I don't know, I'm having trouble with that word. Segment your business goals. Okay, if you have a primary business that you're in, I would say segment some goals for your primary business. Okay, segment some goals for MLSP. Okay, if you're in MLSP, you should be in MLSP. If you're in MLSP, segment some goals there. All right, if you're using MLSP to generate multiple stream of income for you, how much do you want to make with MLSP? How many leads do you want to generate on a consistent basis with MLSP? And then if you have a job that you're going to still, some people still love their job and they're just doing this on the side. That's great. If you have a job, what are some of your goals in that job? Maybe one of your goals in that job is to quit your job. Okay, so if you want to quit your job, write it down. I want to quit my job, and then attach a deadline to it. I want to quit my job by June 7th, 2014, because if you don't know where you're going, you are bound to end up somewhere else. And if you don't have your own plan, you're just going to be a part of somebody else's plan. And for many years, I was a part of somebody else's plan until one day I put my foot down and I said, that's it. I'm going to be a part of my own plan and my own family's plan. Another category of goals, okay, family. Really important. I don't care if you're married and have kids or you're single, you still have some sort of family. All right. Maybe MLSP is your family. Okay. But you have a family. So what I would do is I would get together with your family and I would figure out what your family goals are. So something for me, for example, just to share so you guys can get some ideas here. I'm in the States right now, but I'm Canadian. Okay, so I'm here on a work visa, and basically I don't get to see my family a lot, and I'm really close with my mom and my sister. So basically, my goal is to make sure that I stay as close as I can with my family. A Skype conversation at least once a week with my mom and my sister. Okay, that's a goal. That's going to fulfill me. That's going to help me in other areas of my life if I'm fulfilled there. My goal is also to make sure that when I go and visit them, I go and visit them for a long time. I can actually spend quality time with them. And what that means to me and what I want to do is I want to go there in the summertime, obviously, because it's Canada, it's cold. I don't want to go in the winter, right? I'm going to go in the summer, and I want to make sure that I can go there for 2 months, all right? And to do that, I've got to be able to rent a house. So I want to be able to rent a beach house because it's going to be my vacation there. And I know that a beach house is probably going to cost me about $1,500 a month in rent. And so what I did is I just wrote that down. Okay, that's a goal of mine. Visit my family every summer for at least 2 months, rent a beach house. It's going to cost me about $1,500 a month. Now I know where I need to go. Okay, so if I was looking at that with MLSP product sales and I was at Mastery and I know I make 100% commission on my Mastery sales, with my product sales as a Mastery member, I could even break that down further. And this is taking into your roadmap to crushing your goals. I need to make 5 MLSP that say Tube Traffic Mojo sales. Okay, so about 5 sales would get me my $1,500 a month per month, right? Because if I'm making roughly 100% commission, let's say $297 course, I'm going to make $297 times 5, right? 300 times 5 is about $1,500. Okay, so now I know my goal, but not only that, I want to know how I have to get there. Okay, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute. Another area of goals, you might want to write this down, should be your health. Okay, because what's wealth without your health? So what you want to do is I would get specific as possible about your health, what you can do realistically to keep your health in good health, right? As best you can. For me, I wanted to make sure that I increase my muscle mass. I've got that written down somewhere. I don't have that here, but I hired a trainer. So my trainer actually helps me with all of that to keep me accountable. I basically want to make sure that I attend yoga 3 times a week for my flexibility, and I want to golf at least once a week. All right. Obviously, when it gets warmer outside, I'll be golfing more than now, but write down an area as health is a category of goals that you're going to focus on. Okay. Whatever your health goals might be. Maybe you're going to have a category in your goals that you can set for fun or leisure. Okay, so I always say you've got to have rewards for everything that you do. So for me, my fun would be surfing. I'm a big surfer. I love surfing, traveling, love traveling, date night. Okay, so I have that balance in my relationship. Make sure that I have date night at least once a week. That's a goal for me. And then I want to golf at least once a week. That's another fun goal for me. And I also would love to have, this is a big goal of mine, is I see myself and I visualize a dream goal of having a beach house, okay, right on the beach, right in front of the surf, where I can actually grab my surfboard without, traveling to the beach and actually, having to go through all that, just grabbing my surfboard and running out into the ocean, and having a beach house so I can host a lot of my friends coming over, and just, it's a big dream of mine. So it's a goal to have a beach house, kind of beach lifestyle. Okay. We're about 10 minutes from the beach now, which isn't bad, but I want that beach house. Okay. So whatever it is for you guys, really visualize how you want some of the future areas of your life to look. You may have a category in there that you throw in. You can pick your own categories as well. Definitely do not hold back on yourself just based on my categories. Figure out some of your own. But another one of mine is personal. So I have a personal category where, meditation is very important to me. My affirmations, just my alone time, me time. I love gardening and working out in the garden. I'm kind of geek that way. But those are something that are important to me. I love doing that kind of stuff. And if I don't have that in my life, I'm not going to feel fulfilled. And I'll tell you what, when you don't feel fulfilled, your other areas of your life that you're really working on, your wealth, which a lot of people spend a lot of time working on money, like attaining a lot of money. But I'll tell you what, that your skill level and your passion for that will go down if all areas of your life that are important to you are not fulfilled. So it's really important to have a really nice balance for everything there, as far as all your categories go for your goal setting. Okay, is really, really, really important. And people will see that, they'll feel that from you. And when you're a balanced person, that's what attraction marketing is. People are attracted to you. They want to join you. They want to do business with you. They want to be involved with you. They want to build that relationship with you. That's really, really important. So whatever it is that you have, some of your goals, now my goals are different because I've been in the online world and home-based business industry for a very long time, in my opinion, that, some of the things that I wanted before are kind of already done. So your goals and everything are going to change as time goes on. Not last year, but the year before last, I had different goals on my plate. I had things like, I want to have my own blog, okay, infrastructure set up. I wanted to have, some other things set up. I wanted to have, I want to have 2,000 people follow me on my fan page. And that was a small goal for me. And I was like, I want to be specific. I want to work on this. I want to build my brand. So some of those things were on my list at that time. And every year, every 6 months, when you go to do your goals, things change. And that's okay, because a lot of these goals are going to start getting accomplished and you're going to start adding new things. And once you start accomplishing these, your belief level starts to go up that, holy smacks, I can do this. And then all of a sudden you realize your goals keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So what I would do is make a list, write down right now. Okay. If you guys are writing this down, I suggest that you would, just reading your guys' comments. You guys are all wonderful, by the way. But write down right now a goal that you have. Let's say maybe 5 goals. I would say 10 by the end of tonight, but let's start writing some things down as we're sort of brainstorming on this workshop together. Start writing some things down that you want. How many leads do you want to be generating consistently every day? Write that down. How many reps or new MLSP members do you want to recruit in your business every week? Okay. How many do you want to recruit? 1 new rep a week, 3 new reps a week, 5 new reps a week. And then what you want to do is be very specific. If you're in a home-based business, if you have a primary business, network marketing company that you're part of, be specific with those goals. Okay. Then be specific with your MLSP goals. Then be specific, break it out. How many leads do you want to generate? How many reps do you want to recruit? How many phone calls do you want to make? There's also another saying out there is don't focus on the things that you can't control. Okay. Focus on the things that you can control. So what are the things that you can control? You can control how much effort you put into your marketing strategy. So for example, if you're doing video marketing, I love video marketing, or blogging, blog posts, or if you're doing Facebook marketing, you can control how many videos you do per week, right? But one thing you can't control from that is whether or not people are going to take action on your video. Okay, you can control it if you go into diving into, getting better with time as far as your conversions go and things like that. But the only thing that you can control is the effort that you put out. You can't control what somebody else does. Okay. So say, for example, you're doing phone calls and maybe you have a goal that you're going to call 10 people a day. Okay. Great. You can control the dials that go out, but you can't control whether or not somebody picks up their phone or it goes to voicemail. And you can't control whether or not, if you get somebody on the phone, whether or not they're going to join or not. Okay. So what you want to do is just make goals on the things that you can control. Okay. That will make your life a lot easier. So sometimes if you put a goal on, I want to recruit 3 reps a week. Okay. Then you know that you've got to adjust. I'm going to do as many phone calls or as much marketing as it takes to make sure that I get those 3 reps a week. But it can make your life easier if you just focus on the action rather than the result, if that makes sense. And then what you want to do, so hopefully you guys got some goals written down. Okay. Whether it's a beach house, whether it's to travel somewhere this year with your family or just to get away for yourself or go to a retreat or just go to the spa, within the next couple of months, whatever it is, I want you to write some goals down. Hopefully you guys have all of those goals written down, some of them at least, to get you started. Hardest thing is getting started, I promise you. But once you got the ball rolling, you can't stop it, especially when it comes to your dreams. Next thing that you want to do is you want to plan actually, let me go back because this is going to be a lot easier. What you want to do is I would take a look at those goals and prioritize them. Okay, so what you want to do, I would start with writing 10 goals down for this year that you want to work on. Okay, you got the 10 goals written down. What I would do is then from there, I would prioritize them. So what does that mean? Which ones are most important to you? Or which ones would have the most impact on your life, your business, your personal life, whatever goals you're working with? Okay, and how you want to do that is you want to give them a number. Okay, so put number 1 beside the most important to you. And then put a number 2. And then you want to go, if you have 10 goals, you're going to go from 1 to 10, prioritizing those goals on what is most important to you. Okay. And, no time better than the present. You guys, I would write it 3 reps a week is what I wrote. So he declared it publicly. That's awesome. Okay. So that's what you want to do. Declare it publicly. Call up your sponsor, call up your upline, call up an accountability partner and say, hey, look, I'm working on some goals for 2014. Here's what I got, and this is what I want to do. I'm not asking for anything from you. I'm just telling you, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to rock it out this year. I'm going to rock and roll. There's nothing holding me back. I'm going to get this stuff done. And heck, declare it in the chat line here. That's cool. So now you prioritize them. So what you want to do with your number 1 most important goal, like this is the goal that you could not accomplish this year. Okay, so number 1 goal, you want to take that goal and you want to highlight it. Okay, number 1. All right, this is how you prioritize your goals. Number 1, you would highlight it. I've got to do this in 2014. Okay, we got that. Now, what I want you to do is take that goal and write down your action steps to getting that goal done. Okay, so what do you actually need to do to make sure that that goal happens? Okay, now depending on the goal will depend on the action steps, obviously. If it's a huge, massive goal, you're going to probably take some more steps to get there. If it's a small goal, you might be able to, figure out your action steps a little bit easier, okay? One of the things that can apply to exactly, MLSP, our entire community, one of the things that you might have is you might have a goal to generate 10 leads a day, okay? Now, great, awesome goal. What do you need to do? What are your action steps that you need to actually implement and do to get there? Okay, that's what you want to do. So if you've picked your marketing strategy, then you should know some of the things that you've got to do to get there. Okay, so for example, if you don't have a marketing strategy yet, one of the action steps on that should be to pick a marketing strategy. What is that? Facebook, blogging, whatever it is. Talk to your sponsor, let them help you figure that out. What is your strategy? Okay, so let's say your strategy is video marketing. Okay, and okay, I want to generate 10 leads a day, and I know my strategy is video marketing. So what do I need to do to get there? Well, my suggestion is to make sure that you have the knowledge in video marketing to get to your goal. And how do you get there? Well, there's training inside MLSP. The traffic guys who are on tomorrow night on our webinar, our Wednesday webinar, who are going to be coming out, they have an amazing one of the best video marketing courses that you could buy, hands down, for your business inside of the MLSP store tab in your back office. You can go there. One of the things on that list might be to buy that course, okay? So then you've got the knowledge that you can take, and inside of that course, there's an action guide. What do? You might have a strategy based on your time, okay? Figure out how much time you have per day to put towards your marketing. And then you're like, okay, well, I have 5 hours a week. I have 10 hours a week. I have 20 hours a week I can put towards my marketing. I'm going to use that towards these action steps to getting this 10 leads a day, right? Okay, so then what you want to do is you got to go, okay, video marketing course, follow the steps in the video marketing course, do 3 to 5 videos a day, right? Or do 3 to 5 videos a week, whatever it is that you're doing. And then what you want to do is go, I got to set myself a schedule. I'm going to do a video on Monday. I'm going to do a video on Wednesday. I'm going to do a video on Saturday. And I'm going to promote it. Okay, but take your number one goal and then figure out the action steps that you need to do to get that goal accomplished. If it's in your primary business, say you have a goal to meet, to get to the next level. Okay, so maybe at a certain level in your network marketing company. Okay, so for me, I wanted to be, I basically wanted to be an executive in my business. Okay, so then I broke it down. What do I need to do to get there? Okay, and I called on my sponsor and I said, hey, look, this is one of my goals. I just need to know, okay, what exactly, this is kind of what I think I need to do to get there, but let's work on a plan to really certify that and then, put it into steps for me. Okay, now your action steps are going to be what actually help you crush your goals. Okay, they're going to help you crush your goals because you got your goals set. Yes, I want to generate 10 leads a day. That looks beautiful on paper. That's great. But how are you going to actually get there? Now, if you don't know how you're going to actually get there, my advice to you is there's a lot of great leadership inside of MLSP, probably a lot of great leadership inside of your primary business if you're in network marketing company that you can call on, that you can pick up the phone, and that might be one of your action steps is to pick up the phone or connect with a couple of leaders this year that are going in the direction that you want to go, link arms with them, attach yourself to them, model them, and figure it out. That might be an action step for you. I know for me, when I sat down last March and I decided, okay, what are some of the things that I really want to do? One of the things was to, I think I'll do, I'm reading it right here, March 29th, okay, 2013. One of the things that I wanted really, really bad was to partner with a leader or mentor in the industry. Okay. So what are my action steps I need to do that? Maybe I got to pick up the phone. I got to call some people. I got to do some research. Got to Google some stuff. Okay, figure it out. You guys liking this? You guys writing some things down? It's a workshop. We actually got to do some work in the workshop. So let's do this. Okay, now you've got your goals. You got your action steps. They're going to help you get to the goals. You got them prioritized, right? Goal 1, what's most important to you? You got some action steps in there. You're writing this down. You're working on. You guys, I list everything out and highlight everything that I've done. Okay, and the next thing that I've got to do, I've got number 1, number 2, number 3. So when I wake up in the morning, or even better yet, before I go to bed tonight, I know what I have to do tomorrow, and there's no question when I wake up in the morning. I'm actually thinking about it. I'm dreaming about it. What do I need to do? What am I working on? Okay, and this is how this, if you want to make a couple of $100 a month, maybe don't goal set, live on somebody else's plan. But if you want to be a top earner, if you really want to get freedom, you guys, I haven't had a job for 3.5 years. I've been able to work from my laptop anywhere in the world because I got really good at becoming a part of my own plan, not somebody else's plan. Okay, so you got your goal. Action steps to get there. You're prioritizing your goal. What is most important to you? Okay, the next thing that you have to do is you have to put a deadline. Okay, you have to put a date beside every single goal and action plan. Okay, so here's the thing. This isn't easy because sometimes we just don't know. Okay, but here's the worst thing that can happen. The absolute worst thing that can happen, guys, is that you give yourself a goal date and you have to readjust. You have to adjust that goal date. That's like the absolute worst thing that could happen. Okay, and have I ever had to adjust my goal dates? Yes. So there was a goal that I thought that I could do in 6 months, and I'm sure this happens to everybody in network marketing where we see all the money that can be made and we're like, we're going to be a millionaire in like 6 months. Please don't let me be the only person that had that vision. Okay, if you guys were like, yes, that was me, I was going to crush this thing, I was going to be a millionaire in 6 months, maybe put that in a chat box for me so I don't feel so bad. But I thought that was me. Okay, I was like, I've got the contacts, I've got everything. The only thing that I didn't have was the knowledge. Okay, I didn't know what I was doing in this industry at all, but I thought I could come here and just crush it. And it took me a long time to be able to do that. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Okay, but it was my journey. I had to go through some things. I had to get personally developed enough to be able to lead a big team of people. Okay, so really it was my journey. But put a date down, put a deadline down beside each action step that you good. Thanks, guys. Terrence and David. I'm not the only one that thought I was going to make $1 million in 6 months. Okay, thanks for stepping up, guys. Nobody else had the guts to do it. Okay, but here's the thing. I mean, you know, it's worth it. Everything that you do is definitely worth it. Are you going to do some things, and are you going to set some goals that maybe you thought, you know, shouldn't have done that or whatever? You know, I thought I had to have all my blog and everything set up to make money. So I basically did all that, and it was a waste of time. And I kind of came back and I said, you know, maybe I should have been focusing more of my energy here. I didn't have a mentor or anybody to kind of follow in the beginning, you know, so that was my fault, my bad. But the worst thing that can happen is that you just reset your goals. Okay, that's the absolute worst thing that can happen. But like I said, if you don't know where you're going, you're bound to end up somewhere else. So what you want to do is give yourself a deadline. Okay, so you got your goal, you got the action steps to get to that goal, okay? And then you've basically got beside each action step the date that you want to complete that, okay? And this is a way that you can start putting things on your calendar and start figuring out what you're going to focus on first and then what you're going to focus on last, okay? So if your goal is to get 10 leads a day rolling in and your strategy is video marketing, and part of your action step on that is to get the course inside the MLSP store that's going to teach you how to do video marketing, and you haven't gotten that course yet, what you want to do is you want to go, okay, buy Tube Traffic Mojo is one of your action steps, and put a date beside that. You know, if you've got the money to do it right away, maybe tomorrow is going to be the date. If you've got to save up some funds to do that, it might be a week from now. It might be when payday rolls around, 2 weeks from now. But put a date on there that you're going to accomplish that by, and have this list on your desk. Like, this book goes with me everywhere I travel, and it sits with me beside my computer on my desk because it tells me what I need to do every day to accomplish my goals, gives me my action steps that are going to take me to my goals. All right. After you have those deadlines in place, you just want to kind of take a look at what you have. You know, you're going to have maybe 10 goals. You got all your action steps for those. And I encourage you guys, you know, tonight, you know, you're not going to get all this done just here with me tonight. You're going to probably take an evening or two, and you're going to figure out your goals for 2014, or at least half of 2014. Maybe you've got some goals that are, you know, long-term goals, or you got some shorter-term goals. But if you figure out what they are, okay, you prioritize them, you figure out the action steps that you need to do to get to them. If you don't know those action steps, find somebody who knows how to give you some guidance on that. And then you've got deadlines on the actions. Okay, when can I do this by? When do I want to have this by? Now you got that whole thing staring at you in the face. Okay, got the whole thing staring at you in the face. And you look at it and you go, okay, let's organize this. I'm a girl, so we have to have everything organized before we can do anything. You know, our entire house has to be completely clean. The dishes have to be put away. Okay, now we can get our work done, right? But anyways, you look at this list, and then basically you give yourself a daily action plan. Okay, give yourself, you plan your work and then you work your plan. So you got to give yourself a daily action plan on how to do this. All right. And the biggest thing just to remember is really, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the 80-20 rule, but 80% of your income is going to be determined by 20% of your work. Okay. And really 90% of the things that we worry about never happen anyways. So you got to kind of take a look at your goals and the action steps and go, okay, what is going to be the 20% of work that's going to net me 80% of the results? Now, if you don't know yet, if you start implementing, you'll be able to look back and you'll know. So for example, if you're doing video marketing to generate you leads, you might start doing your video marketing strategy, doing 3 to 5 videos a week and following that plan. okay, that Frank and Mark are ever so awesome to have laid out for us in that course. So if you follow that plan, you're going to know, okay, 30 days, 60 days out from that, you're going to take a look at the work that you've done over the last 60 days or last 30 days, and you're going to be able to see, okay, which videos are netting me the most leads, okay? Because 20% of the videos that you create, if you're doing video marketing, are going to net you 80% of the leads. Okay, this law is irrefutably the same in everything that you apply it to in life. Okay, so you're going to go, okay, this video was really engaged by my viewers. This video was really engaged by my viewers. Okay, they like this topic. I'm starting to see a common thread here. And then what you can do is you can start to focus on doing more of that kind of content for your viewers, all right? And I would suggest finding the things that you're really good at doing and amplify doing them. Okay, some of the things that you don't know or you are scared to learn or just aren't your forte, you can go into the MLSP community. There's tens of thousands of people in there inside the fan page, inside the Facebook group, and you can actually find people and that will help you. I suggest creating a little bit of a mastermind with some people or an accountability partner with some people and say, hey, you know, I'm really good at setting up blogs. I need somebody to, you know, create a logo for me. I'm terrible at design work. I would say focus 80% of your time on the things you enjoy and the things that actually make you money. Biggest thing that I see is the first thing that people do when they wake up is they open up their email or they open up Facebook. Okay? Hand up in the air, tap yourself on the head if you are one of those people. Okay, I used to be one of those people. It's not a terrible thing, but you have to be conscious of it. You have to tell yourself, okay, this may not be a hugely income producing activity right now. If it's not part of your strategy, opening email, how many leads a day, is that part of your 10 leads a day goal plan, is opening your email? Probably not. So what do you got to do before you open your email? You got to do the activities that you have listed that are going to get you to your goals, especially your number 1, number 2, number 3 goal in life. You need to do that first before you go into any fluff activity for the rest of the day. Because again, goals are great. They're looking at you really pretty on a piece of paper, but you aren't going to get there unless you do the things that are going to get you there. And if you write those things down, you know they're staring at you right in the face every day on what it's going to take to get you there. There's all these people guilty of the Facebook thing in the chat. I know, I'm totally guilty of it as well. But if it's not part of your marketing strategy, get the things done that are going to net you the most income and get you close to your goals. Get them done in the first 2 hours of your day if you can. And the rest of the day can be fun for you. The rest of the day can be fun stuff. And if you want to fit more income producing activities into those, into those rest of the hours of the day, great. But it feels so great by noon to feel accomplished and done your marketing, done everything, done your phone calls for the day, done your recruiting for the day, done your appointments for the day. And the rest of the day is left for like 3-way calls and team building and other team stuff that might just come up out of nowhere. Right. So again, the 80-20 rule applies. Just find out where 80% of your time is being spent right now, and find out where all your time is being spent right now and go, okay, well, if I'm not getting what I really want, I've got to spend my time a little bit differently. And then figure out on your list of goals, activities, what you actually need to be doing, right? I kid you not, guys, it's crazy. Like, I'll look at my list, and at any given time, Caesar comes into my office and he says, hey, what are you working on? I know exactly what I'm working on. I'm like, oh, I'm working on this, funnel for this, thing for our business. And he'll be like, oh, okay, what part are you on? And I'm like, oh, I've got my outsourcer over here doing this. I'm doing this. At every point in my business, I know exactly where I am, or at least where I should be. Okay. So one thing I want to get you guys to understand too, is on your number 1 goal right now. You guys should all know what your number 1 goal is by now. At least have a few activities written down and some deadlines written down on those. But I want you to understand, and I want you to know how important it is for you to understand what the consequence would be to you and your family if you didn't get to that goal. Okay, what would the consequence be? All right, so taking our goal example of I want to generate 10 leads a day, what would it mean if you didn't? Okay. So what does 10 leads a day really equate to? 10 leads a day equates to you having enough people to talk to about your business. Now, if you didn't build that business, if you didn't do any recruits that week, what would happen? Okay. And I want you to attach, share, don't give up Facebook completely. It's a great place to network. Just different times on Facebook. That's cute. Share, nice to see you here. Take your number one goal and attach the biggest pain link to not accomplishing it. Write down a few of the biggest, most disastrous consequences that could happen if you didn't meet that goal. Okay? So for me, I take things personally, which sometimes I shouldn't, but I can transfer this to serve me in a way that if I didn't generate 10 leads a day minimum, I would feel like a failure. I would fail not only me, I would fail my team. I would also fail my family because I wouldn't be able to do the family time that I want to do with them. Okay? And I wrote down a few things. I mean, your goals are going to be your goals, but you want to, exactly, still on my dead end job. All right? That's a huge pain link if you know how much that job pisses you off, right? Going to work every morning for somebody else's plan. How awful is that? Some people might like their job, but I'll tell you what, it's their plan, not yours. So you should have an extra plan in your backpack serving you if something were to go wrong with that other person's plan that you have no control over. Okay, so many people getting laid off, man. It's crazy. But here's the thing. Attach pain to you not having that. So much so that it drives you and it pisses you off that you're not already there and you actually take action and you do something about it. I'm telling you, you got to get a little bit mad. You got to get a little bit fired up and you got to kick your own ass because I'll tell you what, nobody else will kick your ass but you. You have to. You have to kick to be your own little ass kicker, okay? How's that for some hangout lingo? And then you got to take action on it, okay? So hopefully with knowing what your action steps are and you just getting fired up to do it and just going, there is no way. You guys, I've had a rough couple of years. This last year has been amazing for me, but the year before that, I probably went through the worst times ever. And one day I might share that story. But, you know, I had an amazing job. Okay, I had an amazing job like 3.5 years ago, but it was a job and I knew it was somebody else's plan. And I started reading these books. I started reading the 4-Hour Work Week and Robert Kiyosaki's, his business line of books, The Rich Dad, Poor Dad and all that. And I just said, man, I need to have a plan of my own. Okay, got into this whole entire world of network marketing and online marketing, and I totally sucked at it for like 3-6 months. I had no idea what I was doing. I thought it was going to be great. All these, people making all this money, and I don't know what happened, but I just kept sticking it out. I kept doing it. I saw people doing it, and I said, if these jokers can do it, I can totally do it. Okay, but I had an amazing job where I made a lot of money, and that was probably the best thing and also the worst thing for me, because it didn't give me that drive. I was comfortable. Okay, I was comfortable over in my job. I was making a good living and everything was all good and cushy. And then I'm trying to build a business on the side. So I really had to get serious with some consequences that would happen with my job or with my life if I didn't build my plan and I kept riding on somebody else's plan. But I'll tell you what, the one thing that happened to me was after 1.5 years, I was able to retire my job. Okay, I worked really hard on my online network marketing thing and I was able to retire my job. And I was able to go and live in Costa Rica. Some of you guys know this story and some of you guys don't, but I was able to go and live in Costa Rica. I had some internet connections. So basically I tuned my laptop into my business, did a lot of Skype calls. I did a lot of, we didn't have Google Hangout at the time, but I did a lot of webinars and I engaged with my people and I was making an okay income at that time. But I was comfortable. I started to get comfortable again. So what ended up happening was I had to get serious with some of the things. So because I got comfortable, my lead flow kind of decided to slow down a little bit because I got too involved in going out there and surfing every day. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm making this money, I'm making these leads, I can go surfing. And so because it wasn't consistent and I hadn't established that base yet, what ended up happening was my income, my lead flow started to go down, and then I needed to get serious again. Okay, so when I decided to get serious again, I had to go, okay, what the heck can motivate me? And I said to myself, well, if I don't get my crap together, I'm going to have to probably go back to my job. And that means I would have to move back home. I would have nothing because I sold everything to move to Costa Rica. All my friends would, look at me and go, well, I thought she had it made. And I would probably, let down myself more than anything. I would feel like very embarrassed that I'd have to go back to a job after living this lifestyle for, a year and totally loving life and sharing the lifestyle. So I said to myself, how does that feel? And I said, well, if I had to do that, that would feel very shitty. And I need to take my life and take my goals seriously. I need to get my lead flow up. I need to get back into my marketing. And you guys, that is a fear for me every day, that if I don't keep pushing forward and keep lifting people up and keep doing the work and doing the actions and keep having these great, amazing goals to work towards, then what's going to happen is I'm going to fail myself. I'm going to truly, truly fail myself. And I don't want to fail myself. I don't want to fail my family. I don't want to fail my future. I don't want to fail my plan. So these goals and however long they take me to accomplish, I'm going to know what the heck they are, and I'm going to know exactly what I need to do to get there. I'm just going to do it, because your life is short. Guys, our life is really, really short. And I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to give you something actually that April is giving all of you guys. She was going to give you tonight too. She's going to give you a little gift. So I'm going to relay that gift back onto you as per April. So hang on just one second. But you guys, I want you to understand that your life is important to you. Obviously, you know that, but I want you to understand that your life is very short, and you know, you're an inspiration to somebody, okay? If not yourself, somebody. Whether you're young and whether you're old. If you're young, great job for being here, because I wish I would have been able to find this way of life and this way of income and way of wealth and way of community basically a long time ago when I was 20. And even though I look 20, I'm not, I'm 31. And I wish I would have had more time to work on this to set myself up. So whether you're young or whether you're old, it doesn't matter. Life is short. Anything could happen tomorrow. And the last thing that you want is you want to be laying maybe one day on your deathbed, wishing that you would have done some things. We call those regrets, right? We don't want to live with regrets. We want to know that if we put something down, that we all have the ability to actually get there and get it done. It's just whether or not you decide that you're going to actually do something with that or not. Okay? Nobody can wake you up every morning and motivate you. I don't care if you have the best sponsor in the entire world or best business partners in the entire world. We have enough of a job ourselves, motivating ourselves every day, right? Let alone we have to motivate a team of hundreds, if not thousands, okay? So the best thing that you can do is to motivate yourself, because you're being an inspiration to everybody around you and people are watching you. So give them a good damn movie to watch, right? And your life is really important. So I want you to travel the world. I want you to experience all of what you want to experience, because life is way too short. Lastly, two things, okay? One thing, you guys are all awesome, by the way. I love the chat session that we have here. I'm going to answer a couple of questions in the question box in a minute. The last two things that I want to do before I do that, the one thing is take your goals to another level and create a vision board. Okay, so I'm in the middle of doing that right now. I'm looking at my vision board right here. You guys can't see it. If you go to my Facebook, you'll be able to see a picture of it. I posted it maybe a few weeks ago, because it was really scary, because I look at my vision board right now and I've accomplished almost everything on my vision board. Now, this is a vision board that I've had for probably the last year and a half, maybe a little less than a year and a half. I've got a BMW on it. We earned a BMW with our company this year. I've got a little cruise thing. I've never been on a cruise. We've won 2 cruises this year. It says building a business website is easy. We launched a new course this year that's absolutely awesome. $1,000 days is what I actually wanted to do. We've had $1,000 days in our bank account, which is really cool. Also thanks to MLSP that have contributed definitely towards that. There's a lot of like teen goals and family goals on this board that have literally, I look at it and I go, holy smacks, I've done almost everything. So now it's time for a new vision board. Okay, new goals, new vision board. So, we've got some, new vision board stuff ready to go. Pictures. This is, I'm sharing with you guys. This is Caesar's vision board. I stole on his desk. He's at the gym. He doesn't know I'm doing this, so you guys can post on his fan page later or something. But I stole some of the photos that he was printing out for his vision board, and we were going to come together. And I was like, I wonder what he wants to put on his vision board. Apparently, he wants this car. Oh, the guys will probably like that. I'm not really a car person. We've got a nice BMW. I don't know why you'd want anything more. But anyways, take your goals to another level and create a vision board. It'll be scary if you look at your vision board every day of what you'll manifest into your life. It's absolutely incredible. I've got a lot of stories to share on that. Lastly, I want you guys to, I'll put in the chat link. Let me see if I get this right. I'll give you guys a website where you can download There is a PDF ebook or something like that. I was looking at it earlier today from April's site. There's a link here. 1 second, guys. And you guys, please send some love to April on the fan page community page. If you would, just send her some prayers and blessings. She's just going through a tough time right now. aprilmarietucker.com/goals. I believe that's it. And you guys can click that. What it'll do is it'll open up a PDF, and it's a book by Brian Tracy. So the same author that wrote Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy, he's got a book that April wanted to talk about tonight, and it's some strategies and tips on goal setting for you guys. So that's her gift she wanted to give you guys tonight, so I'm extending that over to you guys. And if you guys can just do a huge favor for me and also for April and send her some love. I'm going to go over a couple of questions. So if you guys got everything that you need, if you want to stick around, I'm going to answer some of these questions. There's only a few of them. I'm going to do that. But otherwise, I would encourage that you guys get started on your goals right now. Finish them up. No time better than the present. And then share some of the goals with some people. Share them with me. Put them on the fan page. Let me know how you like this session tonight, this workshop. Okay, so we got a question that says, what link is it that I can share to have people attend these webinars? Okay, so that's important. That's awesome. Go into your, this is the easiest thing. Go into your MLSP back office, okay, on the home page. Scroll down a little bit on the right-hand side. It says training, and then there's a little button that says more. Click that, and you'll see them all there, okay? Bradley, feeling overwhelmed is a good thing. Absolutely, because if you're a Tony Robbins fan, it says that you're about to hit a breakthrough. If you're confused or overwhelmed, you're like right at the brink of a breakthrough, which is kind of cool. It only indicates that you're taking in all the information you want to learn. Don't you agree? Totally agree, buddy. Absolutely. Can you show me how to do a pretty link with an MLSP affiliate link? Sharon, if you're still on the call. Okay. On the webinar here. What I would do is if you have the pretty link plugin in your WordPress, then you just go on the right hand or on the left hand side and just add it. You just go into your pretty link. Now, if you're not referring to the pretty link plugin that's affiliated with WordPress, if you're just trying to like create your own link, you can actually do that inside of MLSP. And I'll see maybe if I can find you a little video on that, and I'll put it in the Facebook group maybe later tonight. Is there anyone using the Cam Studio download? I don't know, bud. Good question to ask the MLSP community. Would be able to reach out to be your mentor. Yeah, if you guys want to reach out with me, find me on Facebook. Definitely hit me up, shoot me a message. I'd be happy to help you in any way that I can. What's the marketing techniques you started with to get leads? And how much time did you spend on personal development each day, week? Tracy, great question, girl. Marketing technique I started with at the time was Facebook. Just because I was like, heck, I spend so much time on the thing anyways. And Michelle Pascosolido and her husband Bill, they've got a great, Facebook training inside MLSP that I still refer to. I spend personal development each day or week currently. I just wake up a little bit earlier every morning. Whatever book I'm reading at the time. Right now I'm reading Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. Amazing social media marketing book. I read 10 pages at the least a day. So however long that takes me. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not so quick. And then on webinars and stuff, what I suggest, here's a little tip, is because we've got a lot of people still on the line, so I'll hang out with you guys a little bit longer. If you guys have questions about this, just ask, it's fine. I would recommend on the webinars and training, okay, because so many people get stuck up with training, and they learn, and they do nothing with it because they're just in training mode all day long with all this training that's available to us as entrepreneurs, right? So what I would recommend is once you have a marketing strategy set, you know which one you're going with. Let's say it's Facebook, okay? You picked Facebook, you're 1000% certain Facebook's going to be your master go-to strategy. I would only pay attention to the webinars and the training that talk about Facebook. Okay, so if you picked Facebook as a marketing strategy and they are doing a YouTube training, okay, not to knock YouTube training because YouTube training is awesome, but if it's not your strategy that you picked to employ, I would stay focused until you've mastered the strategy that you picked to employ and only focus on Facebook training information. Okay, just to kind of help you out with a little bit of the confusion that you might be going through. If there's a lot of information getting thrown your way right now, that's just what I did. I look 19. David, thank you. 19 is still a little young, but I'll take it, right? PPC, do I use PPC? You looking to do video, PPC, Roderick? You know what? Personally, I haven't done a lot of PPC besides Facebook PPC. Okay, so I don't know what PPC you're talking about, but Facebook PPC can be really good. I love doing Facebook sponsored stories or promoted posts. Michelle teaches that in her Facebook course because it's just easy. I'm the girl that likes the easy stuff. Okay, so if something's easy and I can teach it to somebody else and somebody else can get it and understand it and do it, that's the kind of information, that's the marketing material I like. I don't like weird, complicated stuff because weird, complicated stuff, it doesn't duplicate. Okay. April's info. Yeah, you guys go to aprilmarietucker.com/goals. And I'm pretty sure that you are going to just have the opportunity to download a PDF, which is a Brian Tracy PDF book that'll help you with your goal setting. Okay, guys? So no more questions. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging around with me tonight. It's great to be on one of the first Google Hangouts of 2014 and then help you guys with your goal setting. So I'd love to hear your goals, some of the things that you're working towards. And if there's anything that I can do personally to help you guys, just reach out to me. I would just like to say, April, we're wishing you and your family all the best as well. Many prayers and blessings are being sent your way. And you guys have an awesome night tonight, okay? And share your goals with me in the Facebook fan page. I'm really excited to hear what your goals are. I want to share some of mine too on the Facebook fan page and we'll work on them together. Have an awesome night, you guys. Be blessed. Mwah.